Welcome everybody, this is Ed, and today I'm going to show you how to get started using Flipgrid. Grids can serve as a meeting place for your classroom, your school, your grade, or really any type of community that you wish to serve. These grids can also be used to talk about a multitude of topics. Flipgrid is a great way to encourage student interaction. I have found that students often have wonderful thoughts and ideas, however they have a difficult time writing them down. Well, this is a wonderful tool for students to share those thoughts and ideas with the rest of the class, as well as receive feedback. In order to get started, you're going to want to go to flipgrid.com. And when you do, you should get a page that looks similar to mine. And what you're going to have to do is sign up just like we do for all the other programs. In the upper right hand corner, you'll see Educator Sign Up. Just go through that, making sure to sign in with Google and use your Cheltenham account. But for us, we're going to go ahead and hit Educator Login since I already have an account. Okay, so I am in my account. And when you log in, you should have something like this. But of course, you're not going to have the grid that I have since I have been using this all year. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a grid. So we're going to click Add New Grid. Each grid that you have will kind of serve like a class. So we want to go ahead and give this a title. And for this example, we'll just call it Math. Now, a lot of other programs make the kids sign in and everything, but we're not going to have to do that. For here, we just want to go ahead and click School Email. And what this will do is make sure that the only people that can sign in are people that have a Cheltenham.org. So let's go ahead and click that. And then we're going to scroll down to the bottom and hit Next. And you can see that that's pretty much saying that you have to have a Cheltenham.org account. And so we're going to go ahead and hit Next again. As you can see, our grid is now ready. And we can go ahead and share that link with a Google Classroom. But for now, I'm just going to hit Go to Your Grid. Now you can see that it has brought us to the grid that we just created. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and click My Grids at the top and go back to kind of our home page. So now I'm back at my home page, so to speak, and you can see that I have two different grids here. One called Math, the one we just created, and the other one I've been using all year. And you can see that there's also the flip code. That's the code that we can give to the students. But if we go over to the right, we can go ahead and click the Share button. And that brings us back to that link where we can go ahead and hit Google Classroom or copy and send it, put it in an email or whatever we wish to do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the X and get out of here and go back to that home page. So now that we've seen that, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Math and I'm going to open up the grid. Now that I'm in the Math grid, I want to go ahead and create a topic that I actually want the students to complete. So I'm going to click Add New Topic. I'm going to take a second now to fill this information out. The one thing you should pay attention to is the recording time. I like to keep mine a little shorter, usually a minute or less, just so if it gets a little too long, sometimes the kids can get a little bit silly. Okay, so I went ahead and filled out all the information, put in my question, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down, and I have some other choices which I generally just skip, so we're going to do that as well. And then I'm just going to hit Create Topic. Again, a code has been generated for me, and I just have to click the Google Classroom, and then I can send it to all my students. But for now, I'm just going to hit All Set. So now I'm back in the Math grid, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit View, just so you can get an idea of what the students are seeing. And of course, I'm going to have to hit Login with Google, just so that it can verify that I have that Cheltenham.org account. When the students click the link, they should come to something like this. You can see that it says Math, which is the title of our grid, and then our topic was Buying Paint. Now at the bottom you could see the question or the instructions that we added, and if we hit scroll down you'll see that there is a gigantic green plus sign, and all you're going to do is click on the plus sign. This is exactly what the students will do, so I'm going to go ahead and click that now. So there you have it. Now you have the ability to go ahead and record yourself and add the answers, and this is what the students would do. As the teacher, you can give an answer if you want and see what kind of response that you get, or you can also use this to go ahead and add any different type of directions. You can also see that I have a couple other options here. The one that I would caution you on is the stickers. And you have to be careful here because in my experiences, some of the kids will put stickers over their face. And you want to be able to make sure that you can see who they are. So make sure that you tell them that you'll delete anyone that comes across and you cannot see their face. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. After students submit the video, you'll see that I had to take a selfie. And then I went ahead and put a little sticker in there because that's oftentimes what the kids do. And then you're going to have a display name. You have to be very clear on this and make sure that you tell them that they put their names on it, and if their name is not on there, then you will not count it and you'll delete that video because otherwise you'll get a whole bunch of silly names and whatnot, and we don't want to have any of that. The title and the link are optional. At this point, the student would just hit Submit Video, and then you can see that I'm done, and again, I'm just going to go ahead and hit Complete. And then you can see that that is my response. Anyone else with that code now, they can go ahead and see my response. They can then also respond to that, and then we can have a back and forth conversation over an elapsed period of time. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to my grids now. Okay, so I'm back in the teacher view, and you can see that I have my topic by in Paint here. And this time when I click on it and I open it up, I can see that the other students who had responded are down here. And again, it's just me, so we can go ahead and take a look at that if I want. And this is where you review all your students' work. Of course, you have different options, kind of like what we talked about. If we go ahead and click this Actions button right here and we scroll down, you can delete that student's response if it was inappropriate. And at the top, we have the Share button. If we go ahead and click that, you can see that we get the link again. Again, we'd share it with Google Classroom, or we can share that with maybe other teachers. I know in the past that I've shared it with Katie, and she has given me a hand helping my kids out with some things and given her opinion as well. But if you do that, you have to remember the flip code, and the flip code is right here. And finally, one last thing that I want to show you in this beginning tutorial is the Disco library. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Disco library. The Disco library is a great place to get ideas of people that have already created grids and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down and see what I like. And here's one on World War II. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, see what it says. So it's going to bring up 33 different topics about the World War II Museum. And I'm just going to go ahead and click this one. And you can see whoever created this has gone ahead and put a lot of work into this. And we can go ahead and kind of steal and borrow it. That's the whole point of the Disco library. So what I can do is go ahead and hit select grid, and I'm going to choose the class, which was math that I created, and I'm just going to hit add. Again, it's going to take me back to the place so I can go ahead and alter the directions. I want a shorter time. We're going to go ahead and make that a minute, and then I'm going to keep it the way that it is for now, and I'm just going to hit update topic. And you can see that I have this topic now on my grid. So back in my math grid, you can go ahead and see that I have buy and paint as well as the World War II Japanese American incarceration. Hopefully you found this tool interesting and a tool that maybe you could use to help promote student interactions in your class, especially at a time like this. Thank you for tuning in.